You may not know this one.
Okay.
I know there's pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can change your mind except for you. Don't ever let nobody walk all over you. Just open your heart and your mind. Is it really fair to feel this way inside? Oh, someday somebody's gonna turn around and make you wanna say goodbye. You don't know that one, do you? Okay. The reason people fail.
Wow.
The reason, and you're about to learn the reason.
Entrepreneurs fail, people fail, employees fail,
Entrepreneurs fail.
politicians fail,
Entrepreneurs fail.
entrepreneurs fail. Thank you.
The
for the
reason
clarification.
entrepreneurs fail. But we can umbrella it. I mean, you could probably apply this to anybody.
Unpack it, baby.
So, I was listening to a podcast this morning and they were talking about this and it was really, really resonating with me. So they were saying that the whole reason entrepreneurs start doing something is because they're passionate about something or they have great taste in a specific area that other people don't.
Okay. Okay.
So
like web design.
yeah, so somebody may be inclined to do web design or has a really good eye for an aesthetically pleasing home or architecture.
Like Spy Gear.
Or, yeah.
Don't start that.
Or somebody has a really good eye for fashion. So the problem is, we start doing things because of our taste. The problem is, when we start off, we suck at it.
Sorry, I just sneezed.
No, you're good. Thought you were having
You're
like
really
a panic attack or
Yeah.
something.
That happens sometimes.
If you guys are wondering what's behind us, it says hard work beats talent. And you can't see all of it. We got room jacked this morning.
Straight swagger jacked.
I mean, did we go in and bust some kneecaps up? No. Because we're lovers, not fighters.
Yeah, and this is it's a judgment-free zone here, so.
Yeah, it's a judgment-free zone. Back to the point. We start creating things because we have good taste. But when we first start off, we are terrible. So an example of that is somebody that has a great eye for fashion, like clothes, what people want to wear. And so they're like, I'm gonna go into the fashion industry and make my own clothes. So they start knitting suits or pants or dresses, and they all look awful. And they know that it looks awful because they have good taste. So months go by and their talent to create never quite adds up to what where their taste level is, so they quit. They give up. And that is the reason why entrepreneurs fail. It's not because they're bad, it's because they give up. What are your thoughts on this, Seth?
That's a good
I think it's really resonating with me because I think it's very true.
So basically you're saying your talent level, or sorry, your taste.
Your taste is there. And when you first start off, your talent is nowhere close. Exactly. It's a pretty good craft, man. Skill.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
There it is, guys. So, I think this is important to think about if you have recently started a new venture, because you're gonna know that your product is bad. You're gonna know that what you're creating sucks because your taste, it doesn't suck.
Yeah, I mean you're touching on basically like if you boil all the noise out there, all the stuff about like what is success, how do you find it, blah 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 blah. A lot of it comes down to like persistence is the said differentiator between people that do find success, whatever that might mean for them, and people that don't. And I think you're doing a great job touching on it. The fact that the challenge most people have is that when they start off, whether you are trying to write for a living, or whether you're trying to do web design for a living, or whether you're trying to freaking make and manufacture a better water bottle, you have the taste for it, like you said.
Yeah, you know what would be better.
You know what would be better.
But you're unable to do it.
But yeah, you're starting off, you're just not, you can't get up and run as a baby, you know,
No.
you gotta crawl, walk.
Yeah, it really is. It all ties back to persistence.
So that makes sense. I mean, what is this just something we're supposed to be aware of going in? Is that kind of what helps?
I think that being aware of this being the reason why people fail and why they feel they need to give up is because their talent doesn't match their taste. But the good news is you can't change your taste. Like, your taste is innate. It's there. You got it or you don't.
Yeah.
Your talent, however, can be cultivated. You can get better with your talent. You can practice. Which leads me to my next point. Seth, you're a strong believer in setting goals. My initial thoughts with this kind of thing that we're talking about is that setting a goal for myself, like, let's say I wanted to learn how to create a website. If I set a goal for myself to create a website, how can I do that without setting myself up to fail? Because my first thought is, well, crap, now I've given myself a deadline, and I know I'm gonna complete that deadline, but my product is gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
So how do I set myself a goal to push myself to grow my talent without making me want to quit?
Dude, you're asking the right question, because I think, and it might help to provide context on both of our parts, but I think the problem is our curiosity levels at such a high, our curiosity levels at the production level. It's at the design and export level, and you have to try to figure out how to be curious about the building blocks and the foundation. And what are my options? How do I write in this? How do I create in this language? You know,
Yeah.
That's the biggest challenge for me. Is like, my curiosity is like, I want to build I want to be able to use the platform to create.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily learn the platform.
Yeah.
My curiosity isn't learning this, it's using this to create, right?
Yeah, same. So, a little more context. Seth and I were talking yesterday, and we both have side projects. The side projects is fair. Goals, maybe.
Yeah.
We have skills
Interests that we
have,
like to develop.
We have tastes that are high, but talents that are low.
We've identified different tools that we would like to add to our own toolboxes.
Yes.
I think is the best.
Yes.
way to
For
describe
me,
it.
I see people's design work and logos and websites, and I was like, man, I could create so much better.
And so that's why explain a little bit more about why this resonated with you, because you were trying to learn Adobe, right? And use that to
so this resonates with
amplify
me
your creativity.
because I've been trying to learn how to use Adobe Illustrator and the Adobe products for seriously never, but wanting to for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't known how to set a goal for myself because I knew it would make me fail. So I was wanting to talk about, like, what could I do? And we talked about this yesterday, like a simple goal, instead of your goal being about finishing a product, just practicing. Make your goal, we decided we were going to devote 30 minutes a day toward increasing our talent toward whatever this is. So 30 minutes a day, I'm gonna practice on Adobe Illustrator and get better, because I can't fail at that as long as I sit down, and even if I'm making terrible images on Illustrator, I'm still succeeding at my goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the problem is going in, we know we've seen people operate using these platforms at a high level. We've seen people create cool artwork using Adobe, or we've seen people like make cool apps using, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us to put in the frame of mind, you know, it's gonna be like 100 hours probably of work before you're like pretty freaking proficient at it. And it's hard for us to say, like, oh my gosh, I don't have 8 hours to get 10% of the way there today.
Yeah, you gotta just chip away at it.
And so I think that, like,
yeah, because we naturally want to be good right away because our taste is good.
Yeah.
We know what's good, but we're unable to do it. So we're like, well, crap, I'm not meant, this isn't for me, I guess. I thought that I was good at this, but I'm not.
Yeah.
That's the reason why people fail, and I've been falling into that. I've been not practicing Adobe because it makes me feel like I can't do it because I'm terrible at it right now.
Yeah, I think the advice of like creating, putting it out there, and like even when you're, because everyone's gonna suck at first. Sure, there's a few people out there that are gonna strike gold with like their first book or their first app or their first design, their first website. But most of the time, for 99% of people out there, you are gonna suck face at doing whatever creative thing you're gonna wanna do, and you're gonna have to swallow that pill, because by sucking, you automatically jump past 90% of the pack that's all too worried about sucking, and they don't want to suck, so they're gonna wait to create. Don't wait to create. Jump out there, suck.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're only competing against 10% of the people out there that are actually willing to suck to get better.
Yep. It's like what we always talk about, man. Having a horse in the race. Your horse may be the slowest freaking horse out there, but maybe one day a bomb goes off before the horse race and your horse is the only one with legs, and then you win. I'm just saying, crazy things happen all the day. You gotta have a horse in the race, and if you don't, you have no right to complain about anything.
It really is the case that like everyone sits there and they think, crap, I suck at this. Everyone else is so much better than I am. And the people that are actually producing on these platforms that we're talking about, they're glad about it.
Yeah, they don't want to encourage you to practice, and they don't want to talk. I mean, they'll tell you how hard it was to get to where they were. Yeah. But they deserve to, because they stuck through the times when they sucked and their talent didn't match their taste.
Yeah.
They stuck it through. And so I think one kind of closing comment to kind of bring us home is something along the lines of exist long enough to become as good as your taste. So I chose the word exist because it requires almost very little of you. It requires very little of you. I'm not saying to myself, I need to climb a mountain every day. I need to exist long enough, meaning I need to stay in the race. Wait for other people to quit before me, because I'm not. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, another thing I would say is, if you're trying to learn something like Adobe in your case, you're probably gonna need, I would say reasonably 20 to 30 hours to at least be able to go through the process of like, here's something I'm thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and sketch it up, and then I'm gonna export it and make it real. Yeah. Like, it's probably gonna require that amount of time to at least get like the baseline proficiency to be able to use the application in a very low efficiency, low production way. So I think that my advice for people out there is, if you have something like this that you're wanting to learn, or you're wanting to get into, or you're wanting to start working on, 30 minutes a day. I think it's the exact same thing with exercise. People don't work out because they're like, oh, I don't have 30 minutes to drive to the gym, and then an hour and a half to work out, and then 30 minutes to go home.
And then eat when I get home at 8 o'clock.
Guess what?
Go to bed at 10.
You don't need that much time. It's much better to do 15 to 20 minutes a day consistently than to do one 6-hour workout once a week. It's the same thing with learning something new. Do a little bit every day, because guess what? That 15-20 minutes is gonna turn into 40 minutes. But it's about getting started, and it's about persistence, like you've talked about. That's gonna get you from the talent being here and the taste being here and getting up to the intersection point.
I don't know, man. I just feel like this is like something I probably knew, but just wasn't thinking about. It just makes sense. Like, this is the reason why entrepreneurs fail. Yeah. Entrepreneurs get into building and flipping homes because they know what a great home looks like. They know the products. People get into fashion because they know what looks good. The problem is, when you get into that industry, you realize you don't know the blocking and tackling aspect, and it makes you feel like you're not good enough or as good as you thought you were. And it's true, you're not. You suck. You're new to this. You haven't done this before, but you can increase your talent, or at least I'm hoping I can.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with this YouTube channel. Yeah. Some of our early videos are really pretty terrible. Not only you, but like the production quality, the lighting, and the focus. Yeah, we got better lighting now, and I fixed my stammer. I didn't figure out how to use the focus until like episode 30. Sorry guys. So, if you're watching some older videos, you're gonna get ready. You might want to just put it on audio.
Yeah. So I think it's important also to note that putting a completion date on your talent is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I would set a measurable goal that you can hit and succeed at every day. Like just like Seth said, 30 minutes a day. Because it doesn't matter what you're doing on those 30 minutes, if it's good, bad, ugly.
Yeah.
You are growing and you're practicing. You're learning.
Literally, even if you just play a YouTube video about the thing you're trying to learn and set it face down in your car on the drive to work, and you're just like listening to somebody talk about it, they're like, here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna open this thing up, and here's something a lot of people don't know about this. It's like, you just need to learn, you just need to get a little bit better every day, and then you'll look back and it's been 3 years and you're among the top 1% of what you do. It's that simple. So brick a day. Brick a day builds a house.
Also think about this, because I think about this. The reason you want to do something is because you think you can be the best at it. The fact that it's hard to be good at these things is good. Because everybody, think about this sector that you've gone into is an endless mountain. You will never get to the top. And at the bottom, all of these people are climbing this mountain. But slowly but surely, as you get further and further up the mountain, people get tired and they quit.
Yeah.
Because they don't see the end, and neither do you.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway up that mountain and it's gone from 10 million people to now 500, and then you go another couple days and now it's down to 200. Now, even though you're not good, you're still only against 200 people. You just gotta keep going. Exist long enough to become as good as your taste.
Yeah.
Just exist long enough. Don't give up, because that's how you fail. When you give up, that's whenever you failed. Not before, not after. It's like the old saying, the old cat conundrum thing, where if there's a dead cat in a box, is it dead before you open it? You ever heard that?
If a tree falls in the forest.
Yeah, that's like the hearing one, but like there's a saying where like if there's a dead cat in a box, but nobody knows if it's dead or alive in there, when did it die? And the answer is whenever somebody opens it up and sees that it's dead. And that's exactly what failure is.
Okay.
You don't fail until you do it, until you say, I quit, I'm heading back down the mountain.
Love it. And that's all we got for you today.
That's a pumped up 6 a.m. set.
Let's go. Let's go. Get hyped.
That's it, y'all. Peace out.